Now we're going to talk about the BARBRI SQE prep, which is brand new, right? Our first cohort was in November 2021. So it's the newest route to qualification in England and Wales for all those who wish to become solicitors. So that would be to practice law in a law firm or within a legal team in any organization. Now, what is the SQE? Well, it's the Solicitor's Qualification Exam. It is replacing the legal practice course, all right, and the established route to practice as a solicitor in England and Wales has been changed completely. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that now. Now, key information, it's the new system for qualification, as I mentioned, in England and Wales. And it's a new two-stage exam assessment. That's what it's about. Now, it's very similar to the US bar exams. And so BARBRI has been able to transfer everything we have done so well with the US bar exams for over 50 years now. We've been able to transfer that skill set and really apply the absolute best to our SQE prep. So it's about ensuring that students are prepared to do a mixed subject, multiple choice exam. And it's all about legal skills assessments. Now, the good thing about the SQE, Solicitor's Qualification Exam, is that it's open to all graduates. So you don't need a law degree. You could have a business degree. You could have studied the arts. You could be coming from an accountancy background. It's for everybody. Now, as I mentioned, we had our first cohort start the course in November 2021. And we are now the market leaders. Our pass rates are sitting at about 77% of our students actually passed this exam with flying colors. And it was an equal split between law and non-law graduates. Now, the reason for that is because this new path has been created to open doors to everyone who wants to get into law. Now, it's split into a couple of stages. So you can see that you've got the SQE1 and the SQE2, and then you've got qualifying work experience, and you've got character and suitability requirements that are stipulated by the Solicitors Regulation Authority. Now, just like the bar associations in the US, the Solicitors Regulation Authority, they regulate and govern all solicitors in England and Wales, and they are the ones who implemented this brand new SQE pathway. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about each of the stages, but the first thing we're going to touch on is qualifying work experience, because that's what's most important to students. Now, for those who are familiar with the route to practice in England and Wales, it used to be that you would complete a legal practice course, and then you would do a 2-year training contract with a law firm. And, the timing for that was really, really stringent. People had to apply years ahead. There were hardly any placements available for students. So many students were doing the LPC and unable to get a training contract, or they wouldn't do the LPC until they got a training contract. Now, with the SQE, the 2-year requirement could be completed before, during, or after the SQE is actually done. So a student doesn't have to get a 2-year training contract. Then it's an opportunity to develop a wide range of legal competencies during 4 different placements. So originally they would have to do 1 placement, 1 training contract with 1 firm. Now students could do a placement in a legal advice clinic. They could do an internship. Let's say they're at a legal advice clinic for 2 months. They do a 6-month internship. Then they've got, another 8 months doing pro bono work, shadowing a solicitor, or maybe they've done some paralegal work. All 4 of these experiences are all recognized as long as they can be signed off by a solicitor. So a qualified solicitor recognized by the SRA. And it can be done outside of the UK. So students don't need to travel, and all of their experiences could be put together to make that 2-year requirement. Now, that solicitor's got to confirm that they've reviewed the students' work, they've given feedback, and it does look at the length of time that they've been exposed to these different settings so that they gain more and more competencies from each setting. Now, the good thing about qualifying work experience is that foreign qualified lawyers are exempt. So if you are a qualified lawyer, you don't need to do the 2-year requirement. You've just got to do the SQE, which is awesome because it opens up doors to absolutely every student who has ever considered law. All of their experiences are recognized and they're not boxed in to only complete this venture by way of a training contract. Now, the SQE itself, it's regulated by the Solicitors Regulation Authority, and they are the ones who proctor the exams via Kaplan. So the exam itself, as I mentioned, it's a mixed subject, multiple choice exam. It's cut across 2 days. So they've got 360 questions they've got to complete, and everything is computer based. So there is no attendance requirement whatsoever. Now, the student themselves would need to pay a fee for their SQE exam directly to Kaplan and the SRA, and that fee is £1,558. It's very, very small. It's not big at all. But in order to be prepared to actually pass this exam, students need to be taught the foundational areas of law and more. So students get experience learning about business law, contract law, everything that they absolutely need. One of the good things is that they get exposure to the legal systems of England and Wales, as well as the constitutional and administrative law of the EU. So students get a very broad understanding of the law across England and Wales. And, you know, in my experience, this is an LLB. This covers absolutely everything. So non-law students really get a clear understanding of the law alongside law graduates too. Now, the second stage is very similar to what we would know as a legal practice course. The second stage of the SQE2, it covers everything that a solicitor needs to know: client interviewing, advocacy, case analysis, all of these subjects are extremely important and allows our students to then become practicing solicitors. Now, the SQE2 exam is again proctored and regulated by the SRA and Kaplan, and the student would have a 2,422 fee to pay to them. But to us, for our SQE prep course, which is designed for law graduates, non-law graduates, qualified lawyers, people with full or part-time commitments, so that's just about everyone, they get everything that the US bar students get. So they get the personal study plan, they get ISAC, which is the exact same portal that US bar prep students get. They get access to the top law tutors from England and Wales, as well as the US. So they also get a cross-cultural experience whilst learning with us. Obviously, this is about ensuring that students are developing an expertise in multiple choice exams. And so they have everything else that the US law student, US bar prep student gets, like the hard copy resource books and all of the workshops that are available across the ISAC platform. And they get to do this course 3 times a year. So students could do a 40-week or a 20-week or a 10-week course. It depends on the student themselves. So it's really about ensuring what is best for you. If you're a non-law graduate, if you're in full-time employment, if you're a foreign qualified lawyer, you would look at that 40-week option and devote around 12 hours per week to your studies. If you're a law graduate from a UK university, you graduated more than 3 years ago, the 20-week course would be better for you. And if you've just graduated, so you've recently graduated law or any UK university studying just about anything at all, then you're looking at a 10-week course. You can get it done in a blink of an eye. Now, the cost of the course is really, really small. It's £2,999 for the SQE1. If you do the SQE1 with us, you get the SQE2 for the same price. If you contact the RISC Legal Academy team, you get a BARBRI award and you see the price drop even more. So students have installment options, they've got scholarships available, we've got BARBRI awards available, which is really important. All right. And for more information, they would need to contact the RISC Legal Academy team. Now that's the SQE1. You've got the SQE2. For 12 weeks, they would complete that. It's exactly the same as the SQE1 in terms of all of the support services that are available, but you've got to do SQE1 first before you can get to SQE2. And as I mentioned, if you do the SQE1 with us, then you get the SQE2 for 3,000. If you do the SQE2 just by itself, then you'd be looking at 3,499. But students still get a BARBRI award if they study by contacting the RISC Legal Academy team. Now, questions. There must be time.
I guess kind of in the SQE, you've answered all of the requirements and FQEs that came to us.
Brilliant.
It's actually great. And the thing is that if they go through BARBRI, they pay the same amount for SQE2. It's amazing. And if they came through RISC, they will get even a BARBRI award. I mean,
yeah.
Who would want to miss that?
I think it's amazing.
Yes.
Yes, I'm thinking a lot of students are going to be interested in both courses. So I would invite them to definitely send in their questions to the RISC Legal Academy team. We are happy to work together to ensure that all students are happy and well informed. All right. Okay.
We're so happy for having you and for answering all of the questions that came to us. And we are looking forward to always hear from you again, and we'll keep in touch.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's definitely been a pleasure. And thank you to the wider RISC Legal Academy team as well.